Hello, interwebs. How are you doing? I am doing well. I dyed my hair. It's like kind of magenta-y. I'm not sure. Like I've had it light for so long that it's kind of taking a minute to grow on me, but I did like this little blue streak in it for a little color pop, a little pop of color because magenta isn't colorful enough for me. Thank you very much. Anyways, what's going on in the life of you? Huh? I hope it's good. I have been using, I told you guys I was going to start using a bullet journal, and I have started. I decided on a moleskin journal. This is what it looks like, and I put these stickers that I got from Redbubble, and then this is a sticker I got from an Etsy shop. I made these tabs with washi tape, and then this is an Erin Condren pen holder. These are the pencils I was talking about. They're like 0.9 millimeter lead, so they're really thick, and I know a lot of people were asking about like what I was going to do with my bullet journal and what it was going to look like. So this is like the first page. A lot of people do like an inspirational quote or they'll pick a word for the year. I did kind of like not either of those things. It just says, I solemnly swear I'm up to no good. And then it's got kind of like the Gryffindor house colors. Even though I am a Hufflepuff through and through, I thought like the Gryffindor colors were more recognizable. And then this is my legend. This is like the index or the key of how I keep everything. A lot of people do a table of contents, but I'm not really going to have that many sections that I'm going to need to reference quickly. So I decided not to do that. Then I have my monthly calendar that I made. I decorated it with a little bit of washi tape, and then there's like a tracker on the side so I can keep track of things. I did like a good habit tracker. A lot of people track like everything, like all sorts of crazy stuff. Now, like honestly, a lot of these are not things I'm going to like reach on a daily basis. I sort of wanted to keep track of them so that when I did reach them, I could be like, oh, look, I did the thing. But one of them is like, be out of bed by noon. Because often I wake up at like 11 or 11:30, which I guess to like a normal person sounds crazy. But listen, I've got a lot of things to stress about in my life. And being that I don't have like a conventional 9-to-5 job, I refuse to stress about getting up to like make other people happy. I sleep when I'm sleepy, whatever. But that has also led me to have some crazy sleep schedules. And another big issue of mine is that I like lay around in bed for like hours after I wake up. Like I'll wake up at 11 and not get out of bed till 1:30, 2 o'clock. Like that's not okay. So that's why I put be out of bed by 12, not wake up by 12. Then I also did a home cooked meal because Nick and I eat out a lot, and I want to like kind of hold myself a little more accountable for like eating food that I actually made, even though truthfully the food I eat out is probably healthier than the food I make. Everything I make has like a stick of butter and a cube of cream cheese and sodium, like so much sodium. So I'm not really sure that that's like a good eating habit. It's more of like a stop being lazy habit. Then also I have a goal to drink 4 bottles of water a day. I never do that, but being that I'm like plagued with headaches and I feel a lot, like it probably has to do with me not drinking enough water. I also got LASIK a few months ago, and you're definitely supposed to like keep hydrated when you get LASIK because your eyes are a little drier than they would be if you didn't have LASIK until they're fully healed, which takes 6 months or a year. So that's another thing I'm tracking. I don't think I've met that goal one time. And then I have another goal to be in bed by 3:30, even though again, that's not something that's going to happen often, but I'll be proud of myself if it does. Then this is like a daily, like an example of daily trackers. I hope there's no phone numbers or anything on here. There's not. Okay, so like daily trackers, and you can see I've got like my water goal and then Leroy's medication at the top. As you can see, I've drank 1 bottle of water a day. Terrible job, Danielle. Really bad job. And then just like lists of tasks and chores. And then I kind of set these goals for myself at the beginning of starting my bullet journal of like, I want to try to make sure I'm doing 2 chores every day so that I'm never feeling overwhelmed with chores. And I also want to do like 2 big house projects a month. So like I really need to finish painting my office. I need to paint the bench in my kitchen. I need to do some touch-up paint in my living room. I would like to redo my kitchen floor, which like all of these things are very overwhelming when you start like adding them up. But if I could set a goal to just do 2 a month, like that's not really that much work. And that's not to say I'll get that done, but we're going to try. Then I had a new week coming up, so this is like my to-do list for the whole week, and I can keep adding on to it. And then flip it over, and here's today, and just all the things I need to do. And then I don't know if I showed you. I don't think I did. I feel like it got skipped. But I did a year at a glance, and then I set some goals for 2016. I want there to be 16 of these total by the time that I'm like finished, but right now I only have 6. But it's kind of just like goals that I want to hit throughout the year. One of them is I really want my team this year to raise $100,000 for St. Jude. I'd like to reach 400,000 YouTube subscribers on TradeChat, which sounds like kind of a crazy goal, and it sort of is, but I also I tried to set goals that I wouldn't be horrifically disappointed if they didn't happen. And I've always been a very firm believer that subscribers aren't what's super important as far as success on YouTube. It's not even necessarily views either. It's more like the loyalty of your audience, how many people are tuning into every single one of my videos kind of thing. I'm not really sure, but I would love to hit that milestone this year. I also put take a vacation with Nick that's not work related because I'm the worst. I use work as an excuse to take Nick on a vacation, and that's kind of bull. He has the week off and I'm working 4 or 5 days, and I would really like to just actually take a real vacation. I want to pay off all my credit cards, which I don't really have that much credit card debt, but I have some, and I would like to get all those paid off. I want to replace my kitchen appliances and counters. Now, this probably won't happen by the end of the year, but I would be ecstatic if it did, because I have they're awful. They're vinyl counters from they look very 90s. I hate them. I actually really like my cabinets, which are original to the house from the 50s. They're all crooked and white and adorable. And it's not that my counters are old that makes me dislike them. They just look really cheap and tacky. I don't know. I don't like them at all. And then whoever put those counters in decided that we needed a white sink. I don't know why, because everything in my kitchen is white, and it just looks so bleh. And all my appliances are super old. I bet my stove is legitimately from the 70s. It's so old. And my dishwasher's super old. When we had the plumbers here last week, they were fixing a leak in our basement. They were wow, your dishwasher's ancient. That's going to break any day now. And I was shut up. It works perfectly fine. So anyways, I would really like to get new appliances for my kitchen because all the appliances are super old and the counters are yucky. And I feel the cabinets are really charming. And if it had new appliances and new counters, you would appreciate the charm of the old cabinets as opposed to the whole kitchen just looking old. I don't know. And then my last goal that I had set, which I'm gonna put more on here, was to enroll Tychus in obedience classes because he's the worst. I love that dog to death, but he is, and it's all my fault. I know for a fact that he's just a dog that needs a lot more than I'm giving him. He needs someone that will walk him for an hour a day, or vigorously play with him for an hour a day. He's just got a lot of energy, and I'm busy a lot. And this is probably why I'm more of a cat person than a dog person, because I think puppies are so cute. But then it's a year of trying to teach them to be a decent dog. And then, you guys know I had to rehome Stanley because Stanley and Tychus started fighting when they were when Tychus was 4, him and Stanley started fighting, and he had grown up with him, and the vet really had no idea why, because even a dog that was high energy shouldn't be taking it out that way. There was this big theory about Violet was the alpha, but she's old now and doesn't give a crap. I don't know. But so I decided that this was it. I'm taking him to obedience classes, and I'm going to, tire him out and be a good pet owner. Because it's not that I'm not. I mean, all my dogs are all they go to the vet. I mean, the vet knows me by name because my animals are at the vet so much. And obviously I get him groomed, and I play with him a lot, and he sits on my lap, and he spends almost all of his time in my office. But I still really do feel I could be doing more. I should be taking him for walks and going outside and chucking the ball for him and doing all these things, and I'm not. And I don't know if it's that I'm lazy, or it's mostly that I'm lazy and busy, and that's not what I want to do with my free time, which makes me feel bad. But I think that a good first step would be doing these training classes, because the trainer that I found is all positive reinforcement. All of his training focuses a lot on relationship building and bonding with your dog, so that your dog is more willing to listen to you because they respect you and you respect them. I don't know. We're gonna try it. Hopefully it works good, because I don't want to constantly be oh, Tychus is so annoying. And it's hard too, because Violet is such a joy of a dog. Violet, I've had her for 8 years. The dog has never expected or wanted anything of me. She doesn't want to go for walks. She doesn't give a shit. Yay, we're going for a walk, right? But she will never ever like whine, or she'll bark if there's someone at the door, but she's not like a pest of a dog, you know? Like she's like chills, and like if you want to pet her, she's cool with that. But if you're busy, she's cool with that. Like she's just like the most laid back dog ever. So to compare her to Tychus, who's like the exact opposite, like the least laid back dog of all time, it's like kind of a shock. Because even Stanley was that way when I had Stanley. Erica has Stanley now. Even when I had Stanley, like he had a lot of energy, but he didn't care if you did anything. Like he just chilled a lot, like, and he was cool with that. Like being with you was enough for him. And like Tychus, that's not the case. Like Tychus needs constant like stimulation, and I'm constantly like, you know, I'll sit at my desk and I'll throw the ball and I'll throw the ball and I'll throw the ball, and I've gotten pretty good at like chucking it out the door and it'll bounce off the wall and down the stairs. So he actually has somewhere to go to get it. But I mean, it's hard being as busy as I am. Like I think in the future I won't get more dogs, because I don't think I give what a dog really needs to be happy, unless it was like a super lazy dog, which would be wonderful. But TLDR, Tychus starts training at the beginning of March. I have to go to a class in February without him, because this is really more about owner training than dog training. But I did all the dog training with Stanley, and it helped a lot. Like when I first got Stanley, he was really bad. Like he would chew and like everything, like the walls, the floors, like corners like of walls where they met, furniture, everything. Like Stanley ate everything. It was almost impressive, the things that dog ate. And I brought him to obedience, and it helps a lot. So hopefully it'll help with Tychus, and hopefully it'll help him like socialize a little better and like be less afraid of literally everything. The dog is such a wuss, it's unreal, which is weird because when he was a puppy, I worked at the game store, and I used to bring him to work with me like every day. So he met like a lot of people when he was little. I don't know where his like neurotic fear comes from. I think it's the Shih Tzu. I keep saying I really think all of Tychus's problems spawned from him being a little dog. I've always heard terrible things about little dogs. I was like, oh, that's not true. A dog's a dog. No. Little dogs are so different than big dogs. Like I've always had big dogs, and like, I don't know, there's so much more like companions, whereas like little dogs are like, They rule your life. They rule your life. So anyways, taking Tychus to obedience. I'm looking forward to it a lot. I'll see what I can do about like vlogging and stuff while I'm there. But yeah, so that's happening at the end. It starts at the end of this month, early next month. And look at me, I'm drinking water. This is one of my goals. What else is going on? Oh, Derpcast is Tuesday if you want to watch. It might be Tuesday when you're watching this, but if you're watching this, it's going to be Tuesday, February 2nd at 6 p.m. Eastern. Jeeb and I are going to talk about all sorts of stuff. I don't know if you saw my little Pepe and a cupcake hat. Isn't that so cute? Precious made it on Twitter. I'll link her Twitter in the info below. She also made me a Murloc one and like a little Spartan helmet, but I have those put away because I decided Pepe was a cupcake today, but look how cute he looks. Right? Look at his little hat. It's so cute. She made me these super cute little coffee mugs too. Like one of them's a pink horde symbol and the other one is the Overwatch symbol, and they're like really nice mugs. They're like kind of chalkboard looking on the outside, and then the inside is like a glazed color. They're really nice. I'll link her Twitter in the info below if you're interested. But in the meantime, I'm gonna go because I've been talking for like minutes. So I hope you're having a wonderful day. I love you all. I'll see you soon. You're in my hearts. Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye.